Please be seated. It's my great pleasure to welcome you all to the University of Manchester and to the splendid surroundings of the Whitworth Hall for this graduation ceremony. I would particularly like to welcome the family and friends of our graduands, many of whom have travelled long distances to be here today. We welcome you to the university and thank you wholeheartedly for the help, support and encouragement that you have given our graduands during their studies. But most of all, of course, I would like to welcome our graduands, whose magnificent achievements and hard work we are here to celebrate today. Graduands can be justifiably proud of their own personal achievement. Those of you who are graduating today have given yourselves a real advantage. The investment you chose to make in your future by deciding to come to study for your degree in Manchester is today realised. Your achievement in completing your degree cannot be underestimated. You and your families and friends should feel justly proud. There is also much for the university to be proud about this academic year. We have a new Chancellor, Mr. Tom Bloxham, a Manchester graduate who was elected by alumni and staff. And Mr. Bloxham takes up his role next month. In September 2007, we announced the successful outcome of a competitive bidding process to Tesco plc to create a sustainable consumption institute in partnership with the university. The investment from Tesco will be at least £25 million over 5 years and will lead to the establishment of a world-leading research institute helping to tackle climate change and deliver a revolution in green consumption. Manchester remains the most popular university in the United Kingdom, receiving more applications for undergraduate study than any other British university. In 2007, we had more than 64,000 young people applying to the university to join us as undergraduate students. And our career service has been voted the best in the UK for the past 5 consecutive years, and the university is ranked as the 5th most preferred in the world from which to recruit. More than 90% of our graduates are either in employment or further study 6 months after graduating, and most of the remainder have made a conscious decision to take a period of rest, a gap year, after the rigours of their studies here in Manchester before taking up employment. Students graduating with a Master in Mathematics will have seen many changes in the few years they have been in Manchester. You are the last cohort to have been accepted on the degree programmes of the legacy universities, UMIST and the Victoria University. Some of the changes will have been uncomfortable, I'm sure, but I hope you can all see the improvements that have been made over the past 4 years. Whilst the different characteristics of the two legacy programmes have been maintained, you have benefited from an increased choice of courses, and you will have been in Manchester for the move into the Alan Turing building last summer. Graduating with the M Math is a great achievement. The extra year of study means that you have been introduced to ideas and techniques that prepare you for research or for the most sophisticated uses of mathematics in industry and commerce. The students graduating with a Bachelor of Science in Mathematics today are the first group of students to have been admitted to the new University of Manchester, and that makes you very special to us. The programme of study you have taken was newly designed and will have given you a real appreciation of mathematics and its applications. Whether you go on to use the mathematics you have learned directly, the ways of thinking and organisation of ideas which you have learned here will stand you in good stead for the future. Like the M Math students, you will have seen many changes here in Manchester during your studies, including the move last year into the Alan Turing building. This building was designed in collaboration with the mathematicians and represents an investment of £40 million by the university to create an iconic building to house mathematics teaching and research. This has also been a period of investment in people. At the start of your time at Manchester, the School of Mathematics had 2 fellows of prestigious learned societies. We now have 3 fellows of the Royal Society in the Mathematics School, including a vice president, 1 fellow of the British Academy, and 2 corresponding members of the Russian Academy of Sciences. But this is just the tip of the iceberg. Junior members of staff have held prestigious research fellowships, and their expertise is reflected in the teaching which you have received. I'm particularly pleased to welcome one of our former students back today, Mr. Richard Harvey, who is the recently retired Chief Executive Officer of the world's biggest insurance company, Aviva. It is a great privilege to have Richard with us today, and we are delighted to be able to honour him with an Outstanding Alumnus Award during this ceremony. The career and achievements of Richard provide a great example of the characteristics we hope you have learned in your time here, but more of that later. As a graduate of this university, you are joining a very distinguished Hall of Fame. No fewer than 22 of our former staff and students have gone on to become Nobel Prize winners, and very many of our graduates can be found in top positions in academe, in business, in politics, other parts of the public sector, and in the arts. Universities are all about people, and it's the staff and students of the university who make all this achievement possible. Today, we honour the contribution of our graduands of 2008. In your own way, each and every one of you has enriched the life of the university. Your degree is a hugely important milestone, and you should celebrate your success with gusto. But this is the beginning of a journey for you, not the end. For we're delighted to welcome you to a network of over 200,000 alumni of the university spread across 200 countries around the world. This allows you to continue your relationship with the university and current friends, and to interact with many other alumni connected with the university at a personal and professional level. Please do take advantage of this by leaving your contact details with us on our interactive alumni community network. As an alumnus, you will receive regularly a free magazine and be invited to social nights, reunions, and business networking events. Our Alumni Association is also very active overseas, with branches in many countries. So please don't make today your last contact with the University of Manchester. Keep the Alumni Office regularly updated with your news and address changes, and please remember that our doors will always be open to you. On behalf of the university, I congratulate all of you who are graduating here today on your excellent academic achievement, and I wish you every success in your future career. Thank you. I will now call upon Professor Paul Glendinning, Head of School of Mathematics, to present Mr. Richard Harvey to you, winner of the Outstanding Alumnus Award. Paul.
Vice President and Dean, ladies and gentlemen, graduands. Today is about celebrating the achievements of our students, recognizing the commitment and dedication that has brought them to this point, and wishing them luck as they embark on their chosen careers. But we are also celebrating the achievements of someone whose long and enormously successful career began at this same university, whose tenacity, hard work and dedication has helped him rise to the very top of his field, and whose compassion and desire to give something back is an example to us all. The University of Manchester Alumni Association's Outstanding Alumnus Award for 2008, Richard Harvey. Until last year, Richard was the CEO of one of the UK's largest companies and the world's 5th biggest insurer, Aviva. He truly was at the pinnacle of his profession. That, in itself, is reason enough to call him an outstanding alumnus. But what makes Richard truly exceptional is what he chose to do next. Showing the type of compassion and commitment to which many of us aspire, but too few achieve, he gave up his high-powered and highly successful job in order to spend a year working in Africa with some of the poorest, most deprived people on the planet. On the surface, it was an unlikely change for a lifetime insurance man, but it was perhaps less surprising to those who knew him well. The son of a Cotswolds teacher, Richard was brought up in a tight-knit family that valued hard work and placed importance on making a contribution to society. He graduated from the University of Manchester in 1971 with an honours degree in mathematics. His heart was set on becoming a physicist. Indeed, his degree was sponsored by the Atomic Energy Authority, who promised him a job at the end of the course. The changing economics of the nuclear industry at the time meant that this never materialised. Instead, eager to start his career, as he put it, any career, he looked around for other options, and in his words, fell into insurance. Some fall. Working his way through the ranks with characteristic hard work and determination, by 1992, Richard was Chief Executive of Norwich Union, New Zealand. 6 years later, he became Chief Executive of Norwich Union PLC, and after steering the company through a merger with its biggest UK rival, CGU, he became Chief Executive of the merged company, subsequently renamed Aviva, in 2000. By the beginning of last year, he'd been in the top job at one of the UK's most successful companies for almost 10 years. He could have been forgiven for wanting to start taking things a little easier. But in January 2007, still aged only 56, he stunned the industry by resigning from his job. Not to spend more time on the golf course or developing the wine cellar, but to spend a year in Africa working for Concern Universal, a charity which aims to improve the lives of people in some of the world's poorest communities. True to his word, a few months later, accompanied by his wife Kay, he flew out to Kenya to begin the first leg of an extraordinary program of frontline charitable work that also took him to Mozambique and Malawi. In fact, he only returned to the UK last month. Richard is, and always has been, a hands-on person, ready to roll up his sleeves and get stuck in. While in Africa, he has been involved firsthand with everything from education to agriculture to HIV/AIDS awareness campaigns. I was pleased to note that in Kenya, he tested school children's mathematical ability and found it remarkably well developed. Kay taught at one of the schools, and I was even more delighted to see in a BBC documentary that she used a blackboard. In the School of Mathematics, we are proud of our blackboards. By his own admission, it's an experience which has put many aspects of his previous life into perspective. The insurance industry is concerned with people in the West living so long that they might outlive their savings. In Malawi, the average life expectancy is just 37, and actually falling every year. Richard is a Douglas Adams fan, and says that an important element of his management style is summed up by advice from the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Don't panic. However, his more recent experiences in Africa have made him reflect on another of Douglas Adams' phrases, the interconnectedness of everything. It is this commitment to making a difference and his willingness to put into action what others only put into words that make Richard Harvey stand out. His achievements are inspirational, and he is undoubtedly an example to us all. We are very proud to call him a graduate of the University of Manchester. Vice President and Dean, I present to you for the award of our Outstanding Alumnus 2008, Richard Harvey.
Thank you, Richard. You honour us by accepting this award.
You're very generous. Thank you very much indeed. Vice President, Dean, ladies and gentlemen, graduands, thank you very much for those most generous words and indeed for your warm applause. I hope you'll forgive me if I make my address with my cap off, lest it fall off during the address and provide by far the most entertaining moment of the few remarks that I'd like to make. I can honestly say that 37 years ago, which was actually the last time I was in Manchester, and indeed when I sat in this hall where you are now, I simply would not have dreamed in my wildest dreams that this might be happening 37 years later. In true public speaking fashion, I'd like to just speak about three things. I can't resist the reminiscences about how things were here 37 years ago. I feel obliged to spend a few minutes, well, a minute or two anyway, on my business part of my career. And then perhaps the most interesting of all, I just would like to give you a flavour of the time that Kay and I have had in Africa. So what about the time here in Manchester? I have to say I was a very average graduate. I really graduated in bridge, squash, snooker, and what in those days we called festering, which amounted to socialising with other students, and the mathematics really filled in the spare time. Of course, in my day, we were the first group to move into the brand new Maths Tower in 1970, after my first year here. I've had some trouble locating it since I came back, but I'm sure I shall find it eventually. We only had one computer, and undergraduates were not allowed to use it. It was, of course, such a modern and expensive device, and it spoke a strange language called Algol that nobody else nowadays can remember. In fact, of course, the very car that I drove here today and has more computer in it than was used to put a man on the moon during my time here. We had no calculators, and some of you may not even know what they are, but in my day, any numerical exercise was performed with log tables, which in many ways, I must say, I miss the idea that that sort of numeracy has possibly been lost. But to really put the whole time in perspective, what you must remember is that in those days, England were world champion footballers. Now that really takes us back. Of course, it was, as the Dean has already rightly pointed out, the problem-solving ability of mathematics, which I still believe equips a mathematics graduate better than any other discipline I know for literally any job I've come across. And so, as I fell into the insurance industry, entirely, I have to admit, by accident, I found that my mathematical skill was invaluable. Now, of course, it may seem that 37 years in the insurance industry is literally about as dull as it gets. And of course, as an actuary, I'm well aware of all those jokes along the lines of an actuary is somebody who's so boring he marries Elle Macpherson for her money. Now, I know that's a sexist joke. There's got to be a female version of it, and you can correct me on it afterwards. You know, an extrovert actuary is someone who looks at the other person's shoes, and all the other sort of the inevitable comments that go around. But if what you like is complex mathematical puzzles, then the concept of risk management and how you would deal with an aging population, global warming, an AIDS epidemic, the risks of terrorism, the risks of flooding, etc., do actually provide an intellectual stimulus which would be to your taste. If, however, you like the excitement of travel and geographical variation, then what I've been able to experience operating a company in 25 different countries, seeing that company establish itself across the tiger economies of Asia, in China and India, seeing the company take itself out to Central and Eastern Europe, in Poland, in Hungary, in the Czech Republic, has been an excitement second to none. Or if what you look for is management and organizational change, then a consolidating industry operating around the world, changing itself from a UK base to a global operator, is an exciting place to be. Or, of course, the ultimate challenge of any organization: how do you actually get your thousands of staff to deal with your desperately important customers in a way which is civilized, polite, helpful, and offers the service part that a service industry should always offer? So much then for the business side of my life. And as I say, you could ask for nothing more than the mathematical discipline to stimulate you there. A year ago, Kay and I embarked on what we called our geriatric gap year. We didn't have, I don't know whether it was the inclination, the time, or the energy, but we never took the post-university gap year, and so we set off as aging students to see exactly what real life in Africa would be like. It is indeed like stepping into a parallel universe. If you've ever had time to watch that program, Life on Mars, in which the hero finds himself back 30 years in time, it's very much the same experience, except you should take about 300 years off your calendar. You do get the occasional phone calls when the phone lines are working that come from the other world that you remember, but you do find yourself in an entirely different environment. 45% of the children under 5 in Malawi are stunted from malnutrition. 45%. And the Dean has already mentioned my fascination with the interconnectedness of everything. Of course, if your very hunger is sapping your energy, reducing your physical growth by 12 or 15%, reducing your intellectual growth by almost exactly the same amount. If you're suffering from poor sanitation, waterborne diseases, if you're working in a family in which at least one relative will be seriously ill and you're expected to care for them, you're fairly likely to be an orphan because the life expectancy, as you've heard, is only 35 years. Then how do you break yourself out of that desperate situation and step into the world that you and I know? Now, the great news is that that is absolutely possible. I've seen it working. It is possible to have a holistically based community development program that addresses each one of those aspects, that helps the community to think about its whole process. It is, of course, no good simply injecting antiretrovirals if you do nothing about the agriculture, or the malaria, or the education. But if you can spend the time to work on the ground and tackle all of those things, then you can see, as Kay and I have seen, communities which can really make the most amazing difference to their own livelihoods. Now, of course, I'd love you all to help, and it's an interesting challenge to say, what can you do? Well, of course, you may be about to depart on exactly the same kind of gap year, and if you are, I wish you well and congratulations on your decision. I hope you find it as absolutely invigorating and challenging as I did. You may be starting a job, in which case, of course, financial contributions are always welcome. It won't be money that finally solves the problem of Africa, but it's certainly an essential ingredient. What I think you can most do as you go out into the world of employment is to think about your biggest single resource, and that is you yourselves. You are about to be in demand. You are the key workers of the coming generation. And as you select your employer and as you influence their management policy, think about what their corporate social responsibility is. Think about the way they are interacting with developing nations, and use that influence to change the way our world operates. Yours is the generation that can, and if it insists, will, see human dignity restored to Africa. Thank you again for your very kind words. Thank you for the wonderful reception, and may I wish you every success and add my congratulations to those of the Dean on your graduation. Thank you.
Vice President, on behalf of the Senate of the University, I present to you for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy, Majid Shalk.
Well done, Majid. Congratulations.
And for the degree of Master of Mathematics in Mathematics and with Statistics, with honours, Christopher James Marsh. And in Mathematics with Honours, Richard Andrew Allison.
Well done, Richard. Congratulations.
David Abraham Benign.
Well done, David.
Paulius Kamiliauskas.
Congratulations.
Thomas Man Fung Shu.
Well done.
Timothy William Ho.
Well done.
Alexander Hood.
Well done, Alexander.
Harry Robert Hubbard.
Well done.
Nicholas William Lane.
Congratulations.
Bronwyn Morecambe.
Well done, Bronwyn.
Jonathan Payne.
Congratulations, Jonathan.
James Michael Robert Redhead.
Well done, James.
Victoria Thompson.
Well done, Victoria. Yep.
And for the degree of Bachelor of Science in Mathematics with honours, Robert David Armstrong.
Well done, Robert.
Peter James Ashford.
Well done, Peter.
Danielle Ball.
Congratulations.
Shalinda Singh Bogal.
Well done.
James Birdsall.
Congratulations.
James Michael Bolton.
Well done.
Benjamin Christopher Brown.
Well done.
Alexander John Burkill.
Congratulations.
Rachel Cowell.
Well done.
Charlotte Cavell.
Congratulations.
James Champion.
Well done.
Emma Cookson.
Well done, Emma.
Sean Myron Davis.
Well done.
Heather Marion Day.
Well done, Heather.
William Joseph DeBolla.
Well done, William.
Benjamin Faulkner.
Congratulations.
Jennifer Rose Foster.
Well done, Jennifer.
Man Ting Fu.
Congratulations.
Andrew Joseph Gattinesi.
Well done.
Laura Catherine Gibson.
Congratulations.
Christina Haji Christofi.
Well done.
Thomas Hammond.
Congratulations.
Matthew Haslam.
Well done.
Lindsay Hay.
Congratulations.
Jack Hunt.
Well done.
Catherine Joy Kay.
Congratulations.
Charlotte Kendall.
Well done, Charlotte.
Emma Jane Kirby. Eleni Costa Kufapavlu.
Well done.
Adam Peter Lane. Oliver Langford.
Congratulations.
Neil David Leeming.
Well done.
James Henry Liu. Wong Pok Liu.
Well done.
Lauren Michelle Lomax.
Well done.
Hannah Francesca Lowe. Emma Manchester.
Well done.
Russell Miller.
Well done.
Chris Milovsorov.
Thank you.
Sidra Mobin Salim.
Well done.
Joanne Talitha Munir.
Congratulations.
Christopher James Murphy.
Well done.
Eleni Nicolaou.
Congratulations.
Rachel Sarah Nugent.
Well done.
Stephen Peter Over.
Well done.
Hemant Kumar Patel.
Well done.
Donna Patel.
Congratulations.
Hazel Potter.
Well done.
Wei Qiang.
Congratulations.
Paul David Rawson.
Congratulations.
Alexandra Kate Rhodes.
Well done.
Vanessa Rigby.
Well done.
Louise Rigby.
Well done.
Paul Riley.
Congratulations.
Oliver Roach Newton.
Well done, Oliver.
Andrew Wynne Saunders.
Well done, Andrew.
Emma Shan Seebeck.
Well done.
Thomas Benjamin Shellbrook.
Well done.
Thomas John Shepherd.
Congratulations. Well done.
Andrew Gary Smythe.
Well done, Sam.
Muniba Tahir.
Congratulations. Well done.
Wei Liang Tan.
Well done.
Nicola Louise Taylor.
Well done, Nicola.
Leo John Todd.
Well done, yeah. Congratulations.
James Henry Tull.
Well done, James. Congratulations.
Jack Wallace.
Well done, Jack.
Stuart Richard Woolwork.
Well done, Stuart. Congratulations.
James Mark Ward.
Congratulations. Well done.
Alexander Tobias Whitehurst.
Well done.
Richard Stewart Whiteoak.
Well done.
David George Williams.
Well done.
Benjamin James Williams.
Well done, everyone. Congratulations.
Stephen Emlyn George Wilson. Matthew Tristan Wright.
Well done, Matthew.
And in Mathematics and Management with Honours, Sabina Ahmed.
Well done.
Kanwar Chand Parkash Bagotra.
Well done.
Louise Connor. Claire Patterson Corlett. Jasmine Dadania.
Well done.
Michael Dolson.
Well done.
Oliver James England.
Congratulations. Well done.
Safira Laha.
Well done.
Lauren MacDonald. Victoria Joanne Milligan.
Well done, Victoria.
Jessica Leslie Mitchell.
Well done, Jessica.
Boshu Kui. Pinky Ruparilla.
Well done.
Sahib Singh Sethi.
Well done.
Azhar Tariq Siddiqui. Ri Song. Maliha Tahir, Dami Taylor,
Well done.
Gemma Tunstall,
Well done, Gemma.
Zixuan Wang, Jianrui Wang,
Well done.
Yan Zhao,
Well done.
Yuwen Zheng,
Well done.
and for the degree of Bachelor of Science in Mathematics and Management, Zeyun Ruan, Mohammed Aslan Shah Sharoldin,
Well done.
David James Bignell,
Well done, David.
and in Mathematics, Andrew James Basley.
Well done, Andrew.
Siti Afsa Haji Duraman,
Congratulations.
Christopher G. Smith,
Well done. Today, we have celebrated the reward of your degrees. Very many congratulations to you all. On behalf of the University of Manchester, I extend to each of you our very best wishes for the future, and I now declare this ceremony closed. Please stand.